For reasons best known to others, I've often been called a lefty. I always find that title, that moniker, somewhat bizarre because I don't think of myself as a left-wing individual. I generally do vote for the Social Democratic Party in Canada, the New Democratic Party, but if I stepped into the voting booth during an election where I actually believed that the Conservative Party, actually called the Conservative Party of Canada, had more to offer me, I would unhesitatingly vote for them. Right now, Canada has a conservative government, and it doesn't strike me as the end of the world that we're ruled by these people. I tend to think that I'm sort of a middle of the road kind of person, but a lot of people that I know like to classify me as a left-wing person. Okay, well, if you have to pigeonhole people, then fine. I can live with that. It's not a terrible thing to be called a lefty. One of the things that is often attributed to the lefties is this charge of multiculturalism, being soft on Islam, believing in moral relativism, sort of saying that yes, maybe the other guy's culture is just as good as ours. This kind of thing, even to the point where you're often accused of believing that our culture is actually inferior to that of others, or perhaps it's more violent or nastier or whatever. Well, I have to say that I don't believe that at all. Sometimes people of, I suppose, what one could call a liberal bent tend to be a little bit more in favor of multiculturalism, even as they are probably just as adamantly secular, or perhaps more secular as the conservative type. In other words, they want all religion to be removed from public life. The liberal person is likely to sort of stick up for the cultural minority, not because he really necessarily likes that culture or would feel comfortable living in that culture, but the company that the conservative camp keeps kind of turns him off. The white-bread, suburban, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant view of the world, which I happen to be one of those people, although I'm technically a Catholic, that kind of turns me off. I don't want to live in that kind of society. So I suppose instinctively I stand up for whoever is excluded from that society. It's not that I want my country to be a theocracy or to be pretty much overwhelmed by immigrants. It's not that at all. But what is represented by the status quo in my society, I don't like either. It seems a little bit too stuffy for me. I don't wish it ill. I certainly don't think that it's a bad society that I live in, or that Canadian civilization or Western civilization in general has been bad. It's just it can be better. It can be improved, and I don't want to be included in the apologists of Western civilization. I'm not blind to its faults. Thank you.